Hi, OneChurch.to. We want to thank you for partnering with us to love First Nations. Together, we raised $10,000 for the First Nations Restoration Center out in Sioux Lookout, and we can't wait to share with you how your giving has made an impact. Earlier this month, Rachithaa, Jon, and I, we sat down with Louise just to talk about what they do, how their ministry has grown and changed in the last year, how your giving has made a huge difference, and also how we can continue to educate ourselves. This video is a part of that conversation. Check it out.
We have continued with the baby bags, and we're averaging about 10 a month that go out to the hostel where the First Nations ladies come from, the 32 remote First Nations that are north of us. They come to have their babies here in Sioux Lookout. So this all started when one of the ladies that worked there was from our church, noticed that especially the drug moms would come and say they give up their babies and then of course have the baby change their mind and then have absolutely nothing, right? Because they were planning to give their baby up. Enough that it was a need where they felt like, you know, they needed a starter, something to help. You know, a baby bag could go up to like $125 worth of diapers and clothes and blankets. After you guys helped us, we put in snowsuits too. We couldn't possibly give one to every mom that came through here, so we really target the ones that really, really need us. But having that witness in there of the Daily Bannock, they'll know that, you know, our prayer is that that love would come through, that, you know, this is unconditional, no attachments, no, you don't have to do anything. This is just because you're loved. Every second Thursday, we have Bible study by Zoom again because of the restrictions. And the participants, they say they're excited to come on Zoom and do Bible study. And they're like sponges. They just want to learn the Word of God. And again, because we are Zooming, one time we had someone in Thunder Bay, Pickle Lake, Black Sioux Lookout. Like, we have them in all these different locations. It's opened up a different angle of things. The Daily Bannocks, that's another thing. I'm just trying to get some reprints made. I just, you know, you've heard the term paper missionaries. That's how I look at that Daily Bannock, because it has gone into places that, I don't know, how would you send a team into Pekanjik? One lady, she has read that Daily Bannock every day since she's got it, like for 2 years. I get excited about how God has used it and where it's gone. So in my mind, I think partnerships are going to be the way to go in the future. And you guys are an awesome example of that. We might not have the hands to do it, but we have the connections, we have the way in. We can show you if you have a hunger for the North or First Nations people, you know, and God is calling you here physically or if emotionally or spiritually to pray, then definitely those would be ways to partner.
How can we best educate ourselves? Yeah. And like, what are some things that we should be aware of?
I always recommend The Grieving Indian. In this book, Arthur Holmes thought he was going on a train ride and his mom was taking him with a picnic basket to residential school. So that book talks about the grief and all that comes because of that. The top is vandalism and poverty and, you know, drug use, blah, blah, blah. But underneath that iceberg is the separation at early as foster home or residential school, or it's been abused. So that was the real impetus of our center, and originally was to restoring back to what, you know, people had lost from all these griefs. But also his main point is, you know, there's been a lot of evangelism up north, but there hasn't been a lot of discipleship up north. And that's why our emphasis in like these Bible studies, this is discipleship. This is teaching people how to live out their Christian life. And the other one is similar, The Conquering Indian, and it's 25 testimonies of First Nations people who have found their way out and come to the Lord.
For more information on how you can support First Nations Restoration Center, go to GoLoveArmy.org/lovefirstnations. We're grateful for you, OneChurch.to. Thank you for making an impact, and thank you for being unignorably good.